Hello and welcome to a Black Desert Online tutorial for gathering, and we're going to go out and we're going to gather just some material just to show you how it's done and know what you need to do in order to get gathering done. First off, let's check our inventory. I have equipped a dull axe. That's going to allow me, if you look at that, that's going to allow me to chop wood. Helps you cut wood effectively. We can also switch to shabby pickaxe. And that shabby pickaxe will allow you to mine rock and get ore and stone and things like that. I also have a lumbering axe, which is it has more durability than the dull axe, so it lasts longer. I could use that instead if I want to. And just right clicking on it puts it in this little slot here. You can only have one gathering tool equipped at any one time, so be sure to switch on the one that you need so that you can cut down what you need to do. Here we have a fir tree. So if you walk up to a tree, if it's loggable, you'll be able to log it. Here's an ash tree. So if I look at that, it says gathering R. If I click the R key, I will start logging this tree. Now while I'm logging it, see the timer is like a cast bar down there. It says 20 seconds, down to 10 seconds now. Where do you get these tools? Well, you can get them from quests. You can also get them from buying them from the materials vendor for trade skills. And I can go ahead and just loot that. I pressed R to take all from the tree. So I can also go over here and do the same thing over here. And I can do this as many times as I need to get as much logs as I need. So the materials vendor will sell these items to you. But if you're just starting out, when you get the first gathering quest, which will teach you how to gather, they will give you a free gathering tool for each gathering quest. So you can actually go through and learn how to gather each type of skill, and you don't have to buy the tool up front until you know what kind of gathering you want to start doing. Or you can buy all the tools if you want to, but I found that really constrained my inventory when I was low level and was not helpful at all. So here we have a log that came out of this tree, and you see the information about the log, what it can be processed into. I'm going to right click on it to take it. You could also push R to take all out of the thing there. And that's how you gather. There are other things you can gather, like granite and feldspar and things like that. For instance, mining. If I find a stone that I can mine, it'll show up that it's interactable, and I'll be able to start mining it. Oh, there we go. So that is granite. So if I open my inventory, right-click on my shabby pickaxe, like I did earlier, I've now equipped the shabby pickaxe. I click R, and I'll start mining the granite. Now, what other gathering is available in this game? Well, there's mining, there is logging, as we've seen. There's also, where's the button? P, there it is. So we have the gathering rank here. You see how much you've ranked up in gathering stuff, and it's just there's one big gathering rank. It's not separated into different gathering abilities. And there are also, you can also have butchering knives, which is for getting meat from, if you're going hunting, get meat from animals. There is skinning knives for getting leather from animals, if available. There's a sapping tool. There's a hoe, which you use to farm, I would believe. Like getting, you don't really need it for gathering like potatoes, but I haven't actually got a chance to use it yet. But apparently there's things that you will need that tool to be able to gather. And then we also have an empty bottle for collecting things like, blood and liquids, different liquids, water. So you can put any kind of liquid into a bottle that is needed for trade skills. So that is most of the gathering stuff. Now, what do I do with these logs? Well, the logs or any other gathering stuff is used for other trade skills called processing trade skills. So if I right click on one of these logs, it says start. I can actually see the production screen, which we'll go over in a separate video, but I can see all the different production abilities that I can click on, and once I click on them, they will highlight the different items in my bag. So here's, for instance, chopping highlights the logs as usable in chopping. I can chop that into firewood type materials and use for building a fire or for crafting items. And if you click on these process, this window's for another video, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here before I get into that too deeply. Another thing you can do is, if you're curious about it, you can right click and go to crafting notes and see what everything's used for. So for instance, ash timber, I can see it comes from an ash tree. I can see where the exploration node production comes from. More on that in a separate video. And then I can see what ash timber is used for, what recipes it's used for. You see it's used for a lot of different recipes. So there you go. Okay. So again, just to recap, when you pick up your first gathering quests, you will be able to get all those tools for free. So you can test those out and see if they're interesting to you. And you won't need to buy the tools up front and clutter up your inventory. So recommend doing that. In my opinion, is probably the right way to go. And as long as you have the right tool for the job, you should be able to gather. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to click that subscribe button. Feel free to check out the other tutorial videos if you're interested in any other topics of this game. Ooh, look, we can gather from a thicket. Let's gather from a thicket. We don't need any tool for that. And remember, keep it clean.